So welcome to today's Conscious Conversation. I'm Anne-Marie McKenzie, soulful business strategist, advanced numerologist, and heart-centered coach. I have a very special guest with me today. She is a friend. She is a grad of Conscious Business Immersion. Her name is Kayle. She's coming to us today from New York. And what we are going to be diving into today is removing energetic blocks. So this is something that will resonate with absolutely everybody because we all have a very unique energetic code. And within that energetic code, we have a unique set of challenges and blocks that we face in this lifetime. Sometimes they show up in patterns on repeat as karma. Sometimes they're showing up as limiting beliefs. And this is something that we go really deep into in the Conscious Business Immersion because yes, we drop into our heart and we get clear on how it is that we want to feel and where the heart compass is taking us and the values that we want to embody. The next process of that is clearing out. So in order for us to feel how we want to feel, and in order for us to embody the values, we have to create space for what's to come and for what's next. So this is one of Kayle's area of expertise. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Kayle. I'd like you to introduce yourself to the community and what you're all about.
Thank you. I have been a licensed mental health therapist in New York City for about 25 years. And last year, I started a coaching business and for sex, love, and relationships. And so the first program that I developed was for female empowerment and helping women to reclaim their sexuality, their pleasure, their play, and their power. And so that's when I met Anne-Marie, was when I was just about to launch this new coaching program. And I really needed direction because I was really scattered. My energy was very scattered and I couldn't get focused. And I really was just creating this from the ground up. And it was a perfect time when we met so that you could help me delve into my heart and figure out what are my values and what am I creating here and have some direction and some purpose in this. And it's exactly what ended up happening in our work together.
I love that. She was sent to me by a mutual friend, and that mutual friend was just like, you two are going to love each other. And it was an instant connection for sure. And it's been beautiful watching Kayle's journey unfold, shift, change, morph. She has a very successful practice in New York and also wanted to create coaching courses, create workshops, work with a different set of clientele. And so through those changes and transitions, she's also grown immensely. And part of the reason for that is because Kayle's done an extremely good job at understanding her own energetic blocks and working through them. And this is something that she had in her practice before, but I can see it deepening and expanding with the clients that she works with. So I think before we dive into it, Kayle, I would love for you to share in your own words, and I've got a couple examples, but what were some of the energetic blocks that you became aware of when you were in Conscious Business Immersion, and where are you at now in terms of those challenges? She's got a really great story.
I think that I had a lot of limiting beliefs that I wasn't even really aware of, that were limiting beliefs that were really stopping me from stepping into my fullest potential. And one of those was really kind of overworking myself and just this, depending on really this masculine side of myself, to just keep pushing, getting as much as I could get done. And what I didn't realize I was doing was I was really getting bogged down in much of the details of the things that I needed to do. And it was really causing me, I was hiding actually from the actual goals that I wanted to attain, right? Because really I was afraid that I couldn't handle the success. Or if I really tried my hardest, I wouldn't be able to get the clients. And then what would that say about me? Or that I would put myself out there and then I was going to get criticized, or I just wasn't an expert yet. So I can't really just put myself out there. So I would stay hidden behind all my to-do list and just doing all of the things that kept me really, really busy and feeling like I was productive. But in actuality, I wasn't getting any closer to my goals. So that's what it helped reveal to me as I was going through the module on energetic blocks.
Mm-hmm. She was a busybody, like always doing the things, always having a lot of projects on the go. And it's not to say that Kayle doesn't work hard now. She absolutely does, but I can see energetically that shift in how you approach the work that she does. One of the things that was it just blew all of us away in conscious business immersion was, I remember when I first met Kayle, I looked at her energetic code. So she's somebody who has multiple ones in her birthday. So she's a creative, she's an ideator, she's a problem solver. It can show up as a problem that she has too many ideas, but it's actually not a problem when we learn to play with the energy. Like, she is somebody who is meant to share her ideas and share her inspiration with other people. Also, what we realized in her code is that she is an extremely spiritual person. And I asked her, do you work with a spiritual support team? And she was like, no, I don't. I don't really know what you mean. Like, how do I even create that? And it was so awesome. She showed up in this one session, and we're like, let's celebrate. Tell us what's been going on in your world. And Kayle shared this beautiful story of how she did this meditation, and her grandparents showed up and literally gave her this message that she needs to slow down in order to speed up. So she identified it herself. She was able to become aware of this limiting belief in this energetic block. And she was working through it in the conscious business immersion, but she also managed to access her spiritual support team, who was telling her the same thing and who was giving her divine breadcrumbs to show her that she was in alignment with doing this work and that this was part of her path. So instead of guessing or having that uncertainty of like, is this my next right step? Like, is this a part of my soulful strategy? There was these huge divine messages that yes, it absolutely was. Do you want to share anything else with that about your spiritual support team, Kayle?
Yeah, that I heard very clearly, that I am enough, that I'm doing enough, and to actually look at all of the things I've already created and to sit and really feel proud of my accomplishments. And I just was like, started crying because it was so clearly, I could hear my actual grandparents' voice as they were both like this cacophony um of like spiritual presence that was with me in that moment. And that and many other things that I've learned from CBI has really helped me to slow down. I couldn't truly believe it at first, that if I slow down, I'll speed up, because I'd never really operated under that way of thinking before. But as I started to trust and believe that I can actually slow down and I will speed up, now it's like I almost have to get myself to sometimes, speed up a little bit, because I've really slowed down and I've gotten really focused. And now things are much more intentional, because I can get so excited about so many different ideas that it's hard for me to slow down and just focus on one thing and believe that it's going to be okay if I do so. But now that I've experienced that, and I just feel so much more grounded and focused and content.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I really was doing all of these things and I wasn't experiencing any kind of contentment from it. It was just always like harried and frenzied and frustrated.
Yeah, when we begin to start to play with our own energetic code, we understand our bandwidth and the capacity that we have. And so through that awareness, then we realize, as Kayle said, the things that bog her down are slowing her down. And I remember this one. I wish I could remember word for word, but I said something along the lines of like, doing more isn't going to actually equate to the success that you desire. And Kayle was like, wait, what? Can we unpack this a little more? Because I don't understand how doing less is going to get me to where it is that I want to go. And it does. It all comes down to, this is my bandwidth. This is what I have the energetic capacity for. So I really want to emphasize the importance of removing energetic blocks, and this exercise that Kayle is going to guide us through today, that it supports us in our own energetic sovereignty. When we are able to identify them and integrate them and become aware of them and embody them and also release them and let them go and move past them, then it amplifies our capacity and it amplifies our bandwidth as well. So, but I'll leave that to Kayle to explain it in a little bit more detail in a moment here. So we are going to hang out for another 45 minutes. So we're going to be here until 1:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. If you have to leave early, that's okay. I just want to remind everybody, I am going to download this, pop it into YouTube. I'll share it out in my email list, and I'll also post it in the Conscious Business Leaders group. But if you do have to leave early, Kayle is offering some amazing freebies to each and every one of you. So before we dive into it, Kayle, can you just speak briefly on what you're offering to anybody and everybody who watches this?
Yes. So in honor of Women's History Month, I'm offering free 30-minute sessions for anybody who wants to delve into this more, the work that we do today. If you want to meet with me to discuss it just one-on-one more, we can do that, or whatever you want that session to look like or be like for you. It's open for you, and that's here in the chat. You can click on that to schedule that. If you end up from that signing up for any of my coaching packages, then you also will get a free session, 50-minute session for doing so. As well as if you end up signing up for CBI from this, then you will also receive a free 50-minute session from me. And I also have a free Sacred Sexuality starter kit that you can find on my website. And so I put the link there for that as well. And that is 5 free meditations to awaken your sacred sexuality and your divine power. So that is 5 meditations that focuses on breath, sensual energy, movement. Oh my God, I can't even remember. But anyway, it's the body's 5 natural ways. Oh, sound and movement, essential energy, breath, and something God, I can't even remember. But anyway, it's the body's 5 natural ways of awakening your sexuality, as well as moving and processing emotions and healing.
And I will attest to her meditations. They are magical. I highly recommend everything that she's offering. So download that free Sacred Sexuality starter kit, those meditations. They will blow your mind and your Kundalini will rise. Book that free 30-minute session. Like, I mean, I'm bringing her into my community because I absolutely love her. I love her energy, and I love everything that Kayle is about and what she does for her own clients. And I just want to reiterate that she is offering, if you are interested in conscious business immersion and you want to talk to a graduate, Kayle is open to that. If you have any questions about her experience in that program, you can certainly ask her that. And the reason why she's offering a free 50-minute coaching session is because I believe in collaborative wealth. So if you do have that conversation with Kayle and you decide to sign up through conscious business immersion because of her, I pay out affiliate money. I would rather give my community $555 than Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, that money in order to get ads to get new clients in. So I pay my people in an affiliate program, and Kayle's not doing this for the money. Like, she genuinely just wants to support people and answer their questions. If you do that, though, again, she will offer you a free 50-minute coaching session by doing that, because the more we have, the more we can give. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into it. I'm going to give Kayle the floor. Again, we're going to be here for 45 minutes. We'd love for you to stay. I'll be monitoring the chat. If you have any questions, pop them into the chat. And if you have to leave early, that's okay. Again, this will be posted in the Conscious Business Leaders group and on YouTube, and I'll send it out to my email list as well. Take it away, Kayle.
All right, thanks. Okay, so it might be helpful if you have a piece of paper and a pen to write some of this down, as you might want to refer back to it after we get done with this call. So the idea behind a block is that every part of you, including your blocks, are trying to serve you on some level. Otherwise, it wouldn't be present. So once you find out how something is trying to serve you and how your block is trying to serve you, it's easier to change your relationship with that block. And then the block will naturally begin to change. So we're not trying to get rid of the block completely because it's there to serve you, right? We're just trying to change the relationship that you have with that block. So it no longer hinders you. It actually now allows you to move forward towards your goal. So we do this through awareness and acceptance, since whatever we judge, we're stuck with. So the opposite is ironically also true. Whatever we accept, we free up energy to then change it. So I'm going to walk you through a process that is intended to uncover the deeper desire so you can overcome inner blocks and move towards your goals with more grace. So the first thing that we're going to do is identify what your goal is. Now, I'm assuming that most of us are here, are business owners or aspiring business owners. But if you're not, just any goal that's important to you is fine. That you're trying to, that it's important to you, but you're not for some reason able to really get there. There's probably a block. So that would be a great goal. And as you think of it, I would love to hear what it is in the chat. So if you want to place that in the chat, what your goal is, I would love to know what it is that you are aspiring to. So trusting in the abundance in my life and calling more in. Okay. Yeah, it could be anything from like I want more clients to I want to make more money in my business to I want to build an empire to I want to run a workshop. It could be really anything that you desire that you're having a hard time accomplishing. And then what outer block is getting in the way of you achieving this goal? So an outer block is an external behavior like procrastination or overworking, which happen to be two of mine. Like I kind of tend to vacillate. So I either kind of put it off and I just don't work on it, or I don't work on it by overworking on other things that are less significant and aren't actually making any progress towards my goal. So if you want, you can place that in the chat as well. I would love to know what some of your outer blocks are. So it's not a mindset yet. We're going to get to that. But there's also the behavior, right? What is actually keeping you from making progress? Trying to figure out if I want to stay in my current business or move on to something else that is more heart, soul centered. Right. So then what keeps you from figuring that out, would you say? What is the outer behavior that's keeping you from figuring that out? So not always focusing on the tasks that allow abundance to show up. Okay, so maybe procrastination, that's a type of procrastination. Yeah, anxiety, overthinking, procrastination. Great. And so what are your judgments around that? And really ham it up. Like, I'm lazy. I should be doing more. I'm the laziest business owner I know. Or I lack so much focus and determination and discipline that I could never get anything done. I'm probably going to end up on the streets. So what is your judgment around that outer block? And really exaggerate it. And type that into the chat too. Fear is another factor in not moving forward and figuring things out. Perfectionism. Okay. And now we're moving on to what the inner block is that's getting in the way of you not achieving your goal. So an inner block is an internal pattern, attitude, or way of being that drives you or is underneath the outer block. So common inner blocks are perfectionism, people pleasing, inner criticism, self-doubt, right? Mine personal one is self-doubt that I can handle the success. Another one of mine is fear of being seen and then criticized for what I was seen for, or a fear that I'm going to get too many clients, and then I'm going to be overwhelmed by the amount of work and responsibility. That I end up being overwhelmed and burnt out again. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Fear is another factor in not moving out. Yeah. Right. What is the particular fear, Christine? If you don't move forward? And so what's your relationship with the inner block? When it comes up, what do you do? What strategy are you using to deal with it? For example, maybe you believe it, right? And you just give up. Maybe you judge yourself for even having it. Maybe you compare yourself to others. Maybe you collapse into it and loop in all of your options or not move forward on any of it. I know I personally start to lose energy. I believe it, and I start to lose energy and motivation and focus on the things that are easy to manage and that keep me behind the scenes and doing just the status quo and not ever moving forward on my goals. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no strategy, judgment, believe it, and stay stuck. When I'm uncertain, I lean back into the masculine and doing it instead of being and trusting. Right. Right. That's great insight. Mm-hmm. And so now, how effective is this strategy working for you in achieving your goals? I mean, it might seem like an obvious question, but many times we're not even aware of the fact that the very thing that's keeping us from that dreaded outcome is actually causing that dreaded outcome, right? So my fear is that I might not be seen or that I can't handle the success, so I stay small. But then I can't handle the success because I stay small, right? So the very thing that's trying to protect me is actually causing the very thing that I want protection from. And many times it seems obvious when you hear it, but it's actually not obvious as you're experiencing it. So we're going to make the unconscious very conscious here to bring awareness to it. Yeah, it's not effective at all. So what is the deeper desire? How is this block trying to serve you? Maybe it's ineffective, but how do you imagine it's trying to help you? And what does it want for you? So for instance, for me, when I doubt myself, it's really actually trying to make sure that I'm making the right decisions, that I don't mess it up. Because if I make the right decision, then I'll feel safe. So my deeper desire is actually that I feel safe. Another one is when I don't work towards my goals of, let's say, building an empire, then I don't have all of the responsibility that would be required of me if I built that empire. And so then my deeper desire is actually, in that case, freedom. Like I want to be able to have the freedom to do whatever it is that I want, whenever I want to do it, and not be hampered by this empire, so to speak, that I'm building. Yeah, the abundance I seek creates the freedom I want. So how is the block trying to help you get the freedom you want? It's trying to guide me to what's right, best. It wants more and the best for me. It's a message. Yeah. So really get clear on what your deeper desire is here. What is it that I'm really trying to attain here? I feel like sometimes I don't trust the processes, that if I have the systems, they will actually work because I've always worked so hard. That realization that I don't have to work hard to create more abundance. Right. So are you willing to change your relationship to this block so that you are more compassionate with it now that you see that it's just trying to support you? So for instance, now that I can see that doubting myself was an attempt at keeping me safe, I can be compassionate with doubt when it comes up again. And I can thank it for trying to support me instead of judging it. So what would that look like for you in your particular block when it comes up? Yeah, I want to be kind of a big deal too, or just a big deal. Yeah. So what if I just did it and allowed it to not be perfect and then figure it out as I go? Yeah. Right. You'd be much more likely to get there, right? If you're not trying to protect yourself from it. That's for sure. In a way that actually is not protecting you at all. Okay, beautiful. And then finally, what's a new strategy to attain your deeper desire without using the block as the ineffective approach to get there? Yeah, tiny steps. I love that. to giant leaps. I love that. Imperfect action comes to mind. Yeah. Yeah, I know for me, I simply just acknowledge it and I say thank you for trying to protect me, and it's just automatically starts to alleviate. But before I did this process in that way, I would feel like it was an indictment against me that was proof that I can't do it or it wouldn't be there. And I would listen to it and then fall prey to it and then not move towards action because that would make it worse. So just understanding it and appreciating it sometimes is enough. Or maybe you're somebody, this isn't me, but maybe you're somebody who wants to create like a 30-day game plan with deadlines, and you choose to be compassionate with that part of yourself that doubts as you do it. Okay, well, hopefully this has given you a little more clarity on what your personal blocks are, because what we're going to move into now is we're going to use this information in a meditation. And we're going to first, we're going to manifest the goal that you have with our five senses. And the reason why that part is important is because when we really get into a visualization using our five senses, the brain starts to not know for sure whether this is actually happening or whether you're imagining it, right? So as an example, if you could imagine sucking on a lemon right now, or having a pin stick in your eye, right? There's a part of us that's like, and why are we doing that? We know on one hand, nobody's sticking a pin in our eye. But because the brain is so powerful that we have a somatic response, because it believes what we tell it is true. And the more we utilize our senses, the harder it is for it to decipher, is this really happening? Or are we just thinking it? And if it's really happening, then your body and brain are more likely to be able to move towards that goal because it feels like it's already done it. It's already tasted it. It's already seen it. And that's part of the hardest part about attaining a goal or moving towards a goal, is the belief that I can actually have it if I took action towards it. So if I've already experienced it in my head, then I'm much more likely to believe that this can happen. And then that's really helpful as you are in your day-to-day working towards your goals. So we're going to use our five senses as we manifest this. Then we're also going to be using our breath, and it's a connected breath. And what that means is there's no pause at the top and there's no pause at the bottom. And that helps you also get out of your thinking mind and get into your body, where the unconscious and the distorted thinking lives. And when you can access the unconscious through your breath, it's also able to speak these truths and these beliefs and these ideas and these goals into the unconscious where it really needs to hear it. Because that's a lot of the time the parts that are holding you back from moving towards your goal. So I'm going to remind you, because it's, since breathing is involuntary, it's difficult to remember. But when I prompt you to breathe with a connected breath, you're just going to go back to breathing without a pause at the top and a pause at the bottom throughout the entire meditation if possible. And then we're going to work a little bit with the resistance as it comes up. But now that we have a better understanding of it, it's going to be easier to deal with that. And then the final part is bringing your goal and breathing it through every chakra, from your root chakra all the way to the crown and through your whole microcosmic orbit. We're going to breathe it through. And when you pair this exercise with sensual energy, then it also creates a neural network, a neural connection in the brain that makes it easier for the brain to believe that we can actually take action towards this goal and it's going to be great. Right? Because you're pairing this idea with a pleasurable feeling, which is really an effective way to create a new belief system around your goal. And so typically what you might want to do when you're on your own is self-pleasure, But for the sake of understanding what it might be like on a smaller degree, is you're just going to just do anything on your body that's pleasurable, right? Like just like touching yourself, rubbing yourself, holding your face, whatever feels kind of good, and just to get an idea of what that might be like. Okay, so that's just an overview of what you're about to experience. And if anyone has any questions before we get started, now might be a good time to unmute yourself and ask. All right, so let's get started. Just allow yourself to get comfortable and close your eyes. So I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. With every inhale, feeling the felt sense, and with every exhale, relaxing a little bit more into the support of your chair. Visualizing a gold iridescent bubble of light surrounding you, symbolizing that this is your sacred ritual space, where the veils between the conscious and the unconscious thin, where you become more free, more liberated, to step into your divine power. Feeling a root growing out of your tailbone, piercing the earth, growing roots deep into the earth and wrapping themselves around the earth's core, keeping you firmly grounded and planted in this time and space. Feeling a gold beam of light shooting out the crown of your head, connecting you to higher consciousness, to your spiritual support team, to higher wisdom, higher self. Feeling a gold beam of light shooting out of your heart space, connecting you to all living things and connecting us to one another in this time and space. And feeling a gold iridescent bubble of light surrounding all of us. And now take a moment to visualize your goal. Really notice what it is that you see around you in your goal. Where are you? When you look around, what do you see? What is the landscape like? Are there people there? What are the colors? When you see yourself already having attained your goal, already having achieved it, what do you see around you? What images does that conjure up? What do you hear around you? Maybe it's your voice, maybe it's the voices of others, maybe it's nature. When you visualize having already attained this goal, what is it that you hear? And what do you feel? Either feeling on your skin or feeling in terms of an emotion. Notice what you feel when you experience your goal already attained. Really allow your body to indulge in this feeling. What do you taste? something refreshing, maybe something sweet, maybe something bubbly, maybe something warm or cool. You visualize having already attained your goal. What do you taste? And what do you smell? Maybe it's something food related. Maybe it's nature. Maybe it's a person, animal, an item. What do you smell? So you have your goal. You've already achieved it. You're living it. You can see it. You can hear it. You can feel it and touch it. You can taste it. And you can smell it. Really allow your whole body to have this goal, to feel this goal. And now scan your body and notice if there's any sensations in your body that feel like fear or resistance or doubt to having this goal, to being able to have this goal. Notice where in your body you feel it and describe the sensations to yourself. Maybe it's a tightness. Maybe it's a heaviness. Maybe it's jittery. And now remind yourself of why it's here. What it's trying to do to support you. How it's trying to serve you. And placing your hand on this area in your body, if this self-doubt or this resistance or this fear is showing up right now. Placing your hand there and letting this part know that I see you. I understand that you're just trying to help me. I accept what it is that you're trying to do for me. Thank you for trying to protect me. And really giving it so much love, so much compassion, so much understanding. And then reminding this part that you no longer need it to serve you in this way. That thank you, but no thank you. You can rest. And then breathe into that area the freedom or the safety or the comfort and security that this part is wanting for you. That before you look outside in the world for these things, that you can offer it to yourself right here, right now. Really allowing yourself to have it. You can offer this and you can receive it. And now moving back to the part of you that does know how to attain this goal. This part of you that is also always with you, always protecting, always serving. This part that is strong and empowered and intuitive and heart-centered. And place your hand on this part of you, allowing your focus to be fully on the part of you that knows intuitively how to reach your goals. Feeling the power, feeling the strength, feeling the lightness. And now taking your goal and projecting it out in front of you. Allow yourself to really see it. Maybe it's a picture, maybe it's a statement, maybe it's a word. Really allow yourself to see it hovering right above you. And then on the next inhale, I invite you to inhale as though you could inhale this orb of light that is filled with your goal up through your root chakra, passing through every single chakra until you get to the crown, and then exhaling it back down the front. So breathing with a connected breath, no pause at the top, no pause at the bottom. Inhaling your goal in this orb of light up through your root chakra, passing through your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown. And then exhaling it back down the front. Continuing this loop, allowing this goal to become real in every part of your body. Keeping with the connected breath and introducing a nice massage from your hands. Remembering that your hands are full of healing energy, letting them be beacons of light and energy and pleasure as you touch different parts of your body, feeling grateful and thankful for who you are and the goals that you have, that your intuition has given you this goal in the first place, and it knows instinctively, intuitively how to have it, what actions to take, and that no matter what, you are worthy. You are deserving. You are a temple. Whether you have this goal or not, those things never change. Feeling this appreciation for your unique person, your unique energetic code, and the challenges that uniquely come with that. Feeling a gratefulness for all of it. Continuing with the connected breath, breathing this orb of light that contains your goal up through your root chakra, all the way to the crown, and exhaling it back down the front. And on the next inhale, breathing it all the way up the back of your spine, shooting it out through your crown, out to the cosmos, co-creating with the universe, co-creating with your spirit guides. And then on the exhale, letting it fall back down and making it real in every single chakra. cycle, looping it through, up through the root chakra, all the way to the crown, and exhaling it back down the front. And now taking a moment just to rest in silence and letting this process integrate. Just noticing and observing anything that has moved or shifted in your body. Now bringing your awareness slowly back to the room, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes or taking a stretch. And then when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. So if anybody feels like they would like to share what that experience was like for them, I would love to hear. Don't have to type it in the chat. You could unmute yourself as well as an option, or you can type it in the chat, whatever you feel most comfortable with.
I myself had a pulsing in my heart chakra. So I typically do get pulses in the body. But what was really interesting is that it really just stuck in that, not stuck, it stayed in the heart chakra center when that was happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what did that mean to you? What interpretation are you placing on that?
Well, it's not a coincidence that my spiritual support team is giving me a taste of my own medicine and reminding me to use my heart as a compass, to let that be the guide and lead the way. And it does make sense because my energetic blocks, according to my energetic code, as a ruling number 3, for example, I'm in my head a lot. And so that's where my limitations reside, is in my beliefs and in my thoughts. And sometimes I feel like I'm being logical, but I'm not actually. I'm being a perfectionist, or I'm being judgmental, or I'm being critical. And it's a great reminder to take moments like we did today with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, to get out of my head and into my heart and use that as the powerful place to lead.
Beautiful. I love that. Anything that you wanted to share, Christine, before we?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in my head too. As I joke that it's a neighborhood I don't want to go into alone. So, but what happens for me is my body really reacts to what's going on in here. So just when you were talking about, focusing on that place in your body where you feel that resistance and stuff, that's big for me. And
Yeah.
one of my goals is to write a book. And so when you were talking about sort of envisioning that, um, I had this image of like books like exploding out of the top of my head, like there was just books
Wow.
everywhere. It was kind
Wow.
of cool. Yeah, so that was kind of neat. But yeah, no, it was an interesting process. Just when you were talking about like, what are the colors you see and what are the, who are the people around you and all that stuff. And it's like the words that were coming to mind for me were like, ease, comfort, simplicity, support, love, right? Like that's what I envision for, my business, my life, my goal, so yeah.
Awesome. I love it. So this is something too that you can do on your own. Like I would try to do it for 5 minutes a day, every day, right? Because you can see just how much you can access and the wisdom and the vision that you can gain just from doing it for a short period of time. Imagine if you did it on a daily basis, like what you could gain from that. Yeah, especially, you saying that your mind is so powerful in your body, right? So really utilize that then. Mhm. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing, Kayle. I cannot show you enough appreciation and gratitude for what you have done for me, the participants that could join live, and for all of the people. I've gotten messages all morning, and I'm still getting messages on social media like, can I get the replay? Can I get the replay? So I'll make sure that the entire community gets this replay. And thank you for this easy process. I just want to say how you have taken something that feels like such a daunting task, this big, heavy thing that we need to do in order to get us to where we want to go. And you've simplified it in a way to make it a really easy practice. And I thank you for that because
Mm,
it's so important. Energetic blocks, it's always us getting in our own way, isn't it?
Mhm.
It really is only ever us getting in our own way. And we do have this capacity, this ability to get out of our own way. And this is one of those ways. So thank you, Kayle.
great.
I will also make sure that I will share those links so that way you can access Kayle for 30 minutes, get a consultation with her, do it, and also download her starter pack with all those beautiful meditations. And as I said in the beginning, if you are curious about conscious business immersion and Kayle's experience, where she was at when she started and where she is now, and all the beautiful bits in between, reach out to her. She is so happy to answer any of your questions. And again, if you do end up signing up with Conscious Business Immersion through Kayle, she will gift you another full session with her on her absolutely free. So thank you,
Yeah,
Kayle.
that's awesome. Thank you, Kayle, and thank you, Anne-Marie, for coordinating all this. And
Very welcome.
um, Kayle, I did message you about the 30-minute session, but I'll, I guess, reach out through the link that Anne-Marie sends.
Okay, great. You got the
Um,
link?
where is the link? Is it? It's
In the
It's at
not
the very top. The
of the chat?
the first link in the chat is the
Oh, okay,
free
I
30
missed it.
minute. Yeah.
Um,
I'll send it
I
out to
don't.
everybody as well. I'll
Okay,
send
yeah,
it,
because I don't
yeah.
see it here for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't see a link in there at all.
Oh, I think that if people join these calls after we've posted something in the chat, it may not show up, but I've saved the
Okay,
Oh,
I
chat
just sent
and
it to you,
yeah,
Christine.
and
okay.
I'll make sure that everybody has it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
beautiful. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for being here, Christine, and for
Thank
participating.
you.
We love it.
Nice to see you again.
Yes. Big love, Kayle. Thank you.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Have an amazing day, everybody.
You
You too.
too.